Reignite your intuition to show to grow your intuitive self. Today I talk about It Doesn't Have to Be, says who? It might be a little bit of a funny title, but guess what? If you go ahead and listen, you know why I choose it. My name is Angela and I'm a highly intuitive person by birth. What makes me the expert in supporting you regaining your intuition. As a psychic life coach, it is my passion to support people by becoming themselves. Trusting fully your intuition takes time and is a very individual process. I share with you my knowledge and hands-on strategies that I have developed to support you in your daily lifestyle. Take 30 minutes of your lifetime and schedule a free call with me and you'll find out more about you and how you can change things. You'll find the link on angelahack.com. Work with me. Right on top, there is the button. This sentence, it doesn't have to be, is something, it's very German actually, but I thought of shall I or shall I not translate it that easy, and I said, yeah, well, the point is, who says that it doesn't have to be? Who is the one who decides that things do and don't happen? And there is where I am quite, let's say, I'm quite interested what you think actually. It should probably be better that I just stop here and ask you the question who you think is the person who decides that, if it does or if it doesn't have to be. And we're in June now, and well, this whole worldwide crisis is quite big, or was big, is big. It depends on how you look at it. But who the hell decides? And in mid-April, I remember Germany decided that the big groups are not allowed, or big meetings are not allowed until end of August. And the first reaction of my friend was, good God, on September 4th you want to make this meeting and then this live event in Munich, and are you nuts? And I'm like, so? I remember very well, and I must admit, I'm still in the so. Because who says that it doesn't have to be? Who? And I think it's very interesting to look, if you look around and you observe people, how do they react? Or how did they react? It really depends on every person. And what I think that I've learned the most in the last few weeks is that those people that I thought are highly intelligent might be incredibly intelligent, let's call it on the school basics, like math and writing and probably even logic, but emotional, they are quite overwhelmed or helpless actually. There are people out there that I thought they're incredibly smart and they're totally helpless. So yeah, the point is, does it have to be or doesn't it have to be? And it's really who is the person who decides about my life? Who is the person who decides about your life? Of course, if we have a situation like a lockdown, there is not much that we can do, kind of, but we can still decide what's going on within us. And this I've learned the last few weeks. I figured that the biggest or the most stressful thing for me was to go grocery shopping, due to the fact that people were so anxious about, I'm becoming sick or whatever, or they just were panicking because they were panicking. They did not know how. But they had this inner feeling probably, or inner fear, that they lost their freedom. But nobody could take away my freedom, because it's my decision. And I decide if I do things or if I don't things. Of course, in a lockdown, there is things I cannot do due to the fact that I just don't have a choice anymore. But I always have the choice within me. And the only person that tells me that it doesn't have to be is me and nobody else. Yeah, okay, if there is a little child in your house, you might tell it from time to time, what to do and what not to do, but that's something different if you stop doing it when they're getting older. But this has to do with trusting yourself. If you were able to teach the child or to show the child what lets it grow, and this is the point. Who says it? And at the end of the day, it's always ourselves who tell ourselves what we are supposed to do and what not. And each and every one of us has our own inner, probably it's a wisdom, probably it's a compass on what we can live with or what we can't live with. The less we are connected within ourselves, the less we know what we can't live with. And I know that there's a lot of people out here who have a hard time to practice actually proper self-reflection and to say, hey, the only person who's in charge of my life is me, and therefore I am the one who has to take care of how I do things, how I deal with things, or how I don't do things, or how I don't deal, or if there's anything to deal with or whatever. Therefore, it's really that you are in charge of your life. Nobody, and I mean it that way, absolutely nobody is in charge of my life or of your life, except for me or you for yours. I am very shocked about the fact how many people out here in this world who are on high positions do blame others instead of looking in their own mirror. You always start first with you and then you go further. You always start first with you and then you go ahead. There is nothing else you can do if you want to be aware of who you are. And then you are the only person automatically who tells yourself if it does or if it doesn't have to be. Therefore, the point is to become self-aware of who you are. And this is something that I think we really should pay more attention to. And self-reflection might sometimes be really unkind to yourself, and sometimes it's so bad because you got used to tell yourself that you're a stupid idiot for many years because you've heard that you're a stupid idiot. And this is something that I don't want you to do, because yes, we make mistakes, and yes, we're not perfect, and yes, that's okay, but you're not a stupid idiot. You are a person who does the same thing like all of us. We are learning. And in the it's pretty funny. In the next podcast, you can hear the way I decided to look at things, why I am the way I am, and why I think things happen to me, and why and how I started my self-reflection. So stay tuned. Today's podcast might be short, but take the time you have left to reflect yourself, to mirror yourself, and don't forget, you're the person who can freak you out the most and love you the most, because there's no one in this world who knows you as well as you do. And give yourself the power and the love to take care of you, and then go ahead. And are you ready for really being you? Yes? Then go to angelahack.com, work with me, book a 30-minute call. You find the link below the podcast. Thank you very much for listening to Reignite Your Intuition. Have an intuitive day.